What's going on, everyone? It's Cart from NY here, back with another video. If you guys haven't, I just now started recording podcasts. If you guys want to check it out, I will leave it in the description down below. I just started doing it. You can access it on Spotify, I believe. If not, there will be a link down below on anchor.fm. You can type in my name. It's Cart from NY. We got the new logo out. We're going to start coming out with merch soon. As soon as we get some more folks, subscribe to this channel. We'll definitely get that rolling.
Subscribe to the channel. Like our page. Give us feedback. We want to hear from you.
Yeah, absolutely. So, first off, we're going to start off. This is just going to be about the NFL Combine that is coming up here in the next couple days. We're going to talk about guys that we think the Giants will be looking at. There's from positions like especially the offensive line position, which is going to be early. We'll also be talking about receivers that the Giants can find in the late rounds, as well as some running backs that the Giants could look at. This for so far. We still got more we're going to bring out. We still got linebackers we got to talk about. Also some pass rushers as well.
Corners,
safety. So we're just giving a couple brief names out there for right now. So first I'm going to start off with you. Do you have any guys that you've been looking at recently and have thought about how they could benefit being on the Giants?
All right, guys, it's Big Sean here. Now, before we get to that, I want to just talk about something real quick. This is the Giants brought in another assistant coach. His name is Amos Jones. He's 60 years old, originally born in Tallahassee, Florida. He coached in Alabama, or he graduated from Alabama. His last two coaching stops was he was with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and he was a offensive special teams coordinator, and then he was with he was with Cleveland Browns, and he was a special teams coordinator. So Joe Judge is just adding more experienced guys who are teachers to his coaching staff, and the more experience, the better teachers you have in, the better the team will be, the better the players will play. All right, so look out for him. I mean, they got their whole staff already set. And this is just another new addition. Also, Blake Bleeman, he didn't get the job, the outside linebackers coach. He didn't get the job with the Colorado Buffaloes. I mean, it was Colorado Buffaloes, and before it was with the Michigan State Spartans. So he didn't get either one of those jobs as the head coach he interviewed for him. But now he's still with the Giants, and we look forward to him coming in there and doing a good job for us. So some of the players, as we know, the Combine is this week. It's a very exciting time for a lot of young men. They'll be nervous as they're getting evaluated, what they call it, the Underwear Olympics. All right? Giants are sending their whole coaching staff there, which I really like that. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? They have, got rid of some scouts. They're bringing some new scouts. So they'll be looking at every position. I got couple players, either 5 or 6 that Giants will be definitely looking at. One of them is Michael Pittman, the wide receiver at the USC. Big frame guy, good athlete, 6'4", 219 pounds. Since it's a deep wide receiver draft, I'm looking forward to him going into rounds between 3 and 5. I think he'll still be there round 4, possibly round 5. You know what I mean? He's a skyscraper type guy, and he's good at in the red zone catching. Smart player. His dad played running back Tampa Bay Buccaneers back in the days. Another guy, Tyler Biadasz, a center out of Wisconsin. We know Wisconsin's known for having great offensive linemen. Big guys, 6'3", 318. Solid player. Probably get him in rounds 4, 3 to 5 again. And then also they'll be definitely looking at somebody that Sean's really high on. I'm high on him, but Sean's even more high on him. As I say, Isaiah Simmons.
Well, I've actually lost a little bit
6
of him, but I'll discuss it in a second.
He's around 230. Just an
all
you can do linebacker at the University of Clemson. Very talented player. Reminds me of the situation when Shaq, I think it was
Talking about Shaq Barrett?
Yeah, no, I think it
Or
was
you're
Shaq
talking
Lawson.
about Lawson?
Lawson,
Who's going to be a free
played
agent, I
for,
believe.
played for the Carolina Panthers when he was coming into the draft. Guy at the University of Washington, a guy who could do a lot, can play linebacker or safety, but they'll have an eye on him.
And you know who he reminds me of a lot? Corey Littleton, who's going to be a free agent.
Yeah.
If the Giants wants it, and just go that way.
Yeah,
But I'll talk about
yeah.
that later.
And one other guy is another guy is Xavier McKinney at Alabama. He's a safety that the Giants will be looking at. Championship pedigree, played for Nick Saban. Joe Judge has a connection there. I mean, we could always use another safety. Look out for him. We'll be looking at him at the combine.
I think the Giants will draft someone from Alabama. I just don't know who it will be, but I have a feeling for some reason.
And I got one other guy. His name is Ezra Cleveland. Offensive tackle, Boise State. Big dude, solid, 6'6", 310. Dave Gettleman in the later rounds. This is somebody he'll definitely have an eye on. Could be a backup, a starter. They need depth. Giants need depth on that offensive line, and this is somebody that they'll definitely have an eye on. And of course, they'll be having an eye on a lot of guys, but these are some guys that I was looking at that the Giants will be looking at too.
Yeah, he's got a good list there. Isaiah Simmons is a guy that's on my list as well. Isaiah Simmons, as you guys know, he's from Clemson. He was a beast, man. I really like what he's very. You can use him in different spots, but that's the problem going into the draft. Teams really don't know where they're going to put him on their spot. If they're going to put him as a outside linebacker, middle linebacker, safety, slot cornerback. That's why some teams think, like, even in mock drafts, he's falling back in the early, in the top 10, but between 8 and
he'll
15,
be between 8 and 16.
Somewhere in that area. He keeps falling back into that area in mock drafts. That's why now I'm feeling the Giants won't go towards Isaiah Simmons.
Well, we don't know yet because there's a lot of buzz about.
Mm-hmm.
There's going to be a lot of talk and chatter going on at the combine because this is where teams might be making proposals to other teams about moving up. If somebody's at 8, they're going to move up to 4th or 3rd, or it's all going to start at that 3rd pick that the Detroit Lions
Yep.
have.
I'm going to talk about that also later once I get done here. Another guy to look out for, Tristan Wirfs. He's been jarring up the boards. I think he don't be surprised if the Giants take him at 4. He's an all-world talent. I like what I've watched his film. He looks really good. He's impressed me probably. If you ask me what are the 2 guys that I'm really high on, it's him and Jedrick Willis at that 4 spot. I really see the Giants now going offensive line. I really like him. He's tall. He's athletic. I'm really looking forward. Now, I believe he was bad at one. I think they were saying he could either play guard or tackle.
Yeah, they won't be looking at him.
Which
guard,
I think they're going to look at him more as a tackle
he's
because you already have Zeitler there. And Zeitler, once his contract ends, I expect the Giants to, pick someone up, whether it's free agency or draft. So,
Nick Gates.
Jedrick Willis, a guy I'm high on, and I know this is a lot of first round guys. I'm gonna get to a couple other guys I have as well. Jedrick Willis is really good. He's athletic. That's what I like about him. He's probably the most athletic out of the tackle so far. Or you can argue Andrew Thomas, who I have on this list as well.
Andrew Thomas is another good one. Plug in and play guy.
Another guy I have is AJ Espinosa. I would not be surprised if I see the Giants trade back. If he falls, I would not be surprised. Giants go after him if he keeps falling back. I would not be surprised.
I think that's somebody who'll start rising up the board.
That's what I'm saying. He could
he'll start rising up the board.
Now, if the Giants really like him and they don't feel like they don't like any of the tackles, they might move back a couple spots to get him. And that I would be fine with it. I think the guy, I've looked at his stats. His stats prove that he's a top pass rusher in this draft. Another guy is Jeter Gross-Matos, a guy that the Giants could get if it's late first round, early second round. He's another guy I'm looking at as well from Penn State, and he was there with Coach Chaos, who is now the D-line coach with the Giants. That's another guy to look out for.
His combine is going to make and break him if he can squeeze into the first round.
Yeah.
Most projections have him in the beginning or the middle of the second round.
Yeah.
His combine will make or break him if he can just squeeze into that first round.
Another guy I have out there, I'm going to switch to gears a little bit more to the skilled positions. I have Eno Benjamin. I'm not a big fan of him, but a lot of draft boards have him in that discussion. He would be more like a middle round pick, a third, fourth, fifth round running back out of Arizona State. He's a guy
a lot
to
of people
look
are
at.
high on too.
A lot of people have been high on. If you look, he's been a couple of Giants guys interviewing him as well during the Senior Bowl as well. So he's a guy to look out for. The guy I'm high on, and he's high on as well, is Michael Pittman. I'm telling you, I think the Giants are high on Michael Pittman.
There's pedigree there, you know what I mean, and the family.
And I think a lot of people are high on Michael Pittman because he's a type of receiver that you could just plug into a lot of offenses. I think he fits really well with what Jason Garrett's trying to bring with the Air Coryell offense. Very vertical with the tight ends and receivers. Tall. Got to have another tall receiver in there, like a Plaxico. You see how the Giants did it in the early 2000s, man, with Plaxico did his thing.
Toomer. Skyscraper type guy.
Yeah, and they had, that's how you got to do it, man. You got to do it like that. Another guy that I'm high on as well is Colin Johnson. He's going to be more of a raw project type of guy. Yeah, but if he really gets going, man, he's 6'5", 6'6". That's tall. And if you put him out there and he could do his thing, you pretty much got to steal from him. That's
with him, it all comes down to coaching with him. Mm-hmm. He, like Sean said, he's raw talented. He has skills. He needs good coaching.
Exactly. The other guy I'm interested in as well, this is a guy that everyone's been high on. I believe James Jones was even talking about him too. Antonio Gandy Golden from Liberty. Another guy to watch out for. I think it would be fourth or fifth round, more fourth round. He's a guy to look out for. I'm high on him. I really like what his tape shows it. He did pretty solid in the Senior Bowl. I believe he got a touchdown reception. I don't remember. He's a guy to look out for. I'm really serious about him. And also, I want to go for a couple of situations that I've been seeing people talk about on Twitter. How, for some reason, the Giants still have a chance to get Chase Young. As much as I want to say it's not true, it's possible that it could happen. Now, let me explain to you why this could happen. The Redskins, for example, they're at number 2. The Redskins do have a okay front seven. It's
I
decent.
still think they're going to take
Even though I still think they are going to take him, there's a possibility they could, the Oakland Raiders, the Chargers, the Dolphins. There's so many teams that need quarterbacks. You got the Panthers. You got Tampa Bay. If they move on from Jameis Winston, there's so many teams that need quarterbacks. They're probably willing at this point. I feel like there's a willingness to get quarterbacks now. Like, people are really desperate for it right now.
Well,
and it's going to do a lot with the combine. The combine has a lot to do with it. But I would not be surprised if the rest of them say, "Hey, we'll move back and we'll go get someone else that and gather up some picks." But that's a premium pick. I don't expect them to move on from it, but I would not be surprised. Detroit Lions as well. Everyone's talking about Jeff Okudah. They might move back. They might even take a quarterback. They might surprise people. We don't know. We just don't know what's going to happen. That's the good part of the draft. That's why the draft is here, because it's so unexpected.
It's the greatest reality TV show ever.
Yeah, it's literally.
If I want to add on to what Sean is saying, I expect the Redskins to take Chase Young. But you have quarterback needy teams, and that's the Raiders. If they're going to move on from Carr, and then it's the Dolphins who wants Tua, and then if the Chargers start getting scared about Justin Herbert, and they might put in a trade proposal to the Detroit Lions or to the Giants, where the Giants could just move from 4 to 6.
Yeah. Right now, I think the Oakland Raiders are the most desperate team, but people are not noticing.
Well, yeah,
John Gruden is a quarterback guy, and if he don't like you, he's gonna move on and he's gonna go get his guy.
And they have
they have some draft picks.
I think they have 2 first-round picks.
I don't know about this. I don't know what they have this year, but I know they're willing to go trade up for it because John Gruden's there. Mike Mayock is down for it.
Move up to that first round, and then what would happen is if somebody moves into that third slot and with the Detroit Lions, because maybe they want
Jeff
a whole
Okudah
bunch of picks. Okudah will fall to the Giants. They'll have to make a decision there.
I think now
Chase Young is there.
Honestly,
I still think the Redskins.
If Jeff Okudah falls in Giants, I think the Giants will take him. I'm dead serious.
They might just say, "Yeah, we can't."
Because you have to. As much as you need a pass rush, you have to have good cornerbacks as well. Receivers are getting more creative. You have to, man. There's teams now that have at least 3 to 4 good receivers. You have to make sure you have that down because if you look at like teams like the Chiefs, for example, they got McCole Hardman and they got Tyreek Hill there, and then Sammy Walker. They got a lot of speed on that team. You know, that's 3 solid receivers that you're gonna have to guard the whole game. You got other teams doing that as well, like copying what they're doing. So you have to make sure that the cornerback positions.
We got to wait and see what happens there.
And we don't know what's going to happen with free agents.
Moving parts here. You know what I mean? There's going to be a lot of talk going on in the combine, and then the free agency is like a week after that, you know, a week and a half. So it's going to be a lot going on, you know, but it all starts this week. Some of the players I've already watching NFL Network have been coming in already.
Yeah, quarterbacks are already there.
They get to interview. I think the teams get to interview. I think it's 15 different players, and they either get a 10 to 15 minute interview with them. And the Giants going to be interviewing certain round players. I highly think that they will definitely be interviewing offensive linemen. You know what I mean? Like the Thomas.
You've been interviewing a lot of offensive linemen.
The Willis, and then, you know, those guys and stuff. And then McKay, Alfred McKay, the big 6'7", 6'8" guy out of Louisville, who some in my drafts have been going to the Giants.
I think he needs some work, man.
But we're going to see. We want you to stay tuned. This is a very, very busy week. I know most of them say February is a dead season.
It's not that dead. It really is not.
Anytime there's draft talk, combine talk, free agency talk, it's always exciting. So
yeah, I'm gonna actually have a podcast tomorrow, guys. It's probably gonna be an hour long. I'm gonna be discussing the new CBA rules and what it changes for the Giants. I'm also gonna be talking about. The Giants did release 2 of their veteran scouts. I'm going to be talking about that as well. Yannick Ngakoue asking for $22 million. Remember that? Sleeper, I'll be talking more in depth with the wide receivers like I did today about the sleeper wide receivers. Mel Kiper having Okudah to the Giants. I'm going to be talking about that because I want to get more in depth with that. And then who are the Giants leaning on taking at 4? What do I feel like is going to be the prediction, like a way too early mock draft for the first round. And then I'm talking about who's better, Jedrick Willis, Andrew Thomas, or Tristan Wirfs. Those are my 3 top guys. I'm going to be talking about who's better. Combine updates and Chase Young falling to the Giants. I'm going to talk more in depth than that. So you guys stay tuned. I will make sure I get this podcast.
Like our page, send us a comment. We want to hear from you. We need you to follow us, man. We want to be there for you and give you information and talk about things, and we want you involved in the conversation, so we want to hear from you.
Yeah, and if you have any questions or video suggestions, comment them down below in the comments or send me an email as well at CarpfromNY@gmail.com. You can also DM us on the new Twitter that I just made. Like, I literally just made it, like, yesterday. Let me pull up the name real quickly. I'm going to say it's just CarpfromNY. That's all you say is CarpfromNY, all lowercase. You'll be able to find it. But that's going to do it all, Giants fans. You guys stay tuned, and we will have more info out as soon as possible. Go Giants.
Go Giants.